You're the owner of a small business, which means you're also the tech guy, and HR, and personal assistant, and head honcho, and intern. You could use another pair of hands, like the experts you'll find at Verizon Small Business Days, April 21st through 27th. Get a free tech check, special deals, and more. Call 1-800-483-4428 or visit verizon.com/smallbusiness to book your appointment. Verizon Business.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Well, the salmon won't be spawning in Tom's neighborhood. He's killing off the mosh pit with those granules. What the heck is in those things? I think they're going to stunt your growth.
It's part nuclear, part waste of some kind. I don't know. Just the moss looks at it and just goes, oops.
We got so tired of talking about grape nuts that we've now changed to moss.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's the moss pit.
You can be sure I will not change to a diet of moss either.
Hey, that's very healthy. A little moss and tree bark. You got plenty of that. You could live for decades.
Where's Yule Gibbons when you need him? Yeah, okay.
Hey, hi, welcome to Talk. Hey, let me do that again. Hey, hi, welcome to Talking Real Money, the podcast. I'm Don, that's Tom. Thank you for being a part of this and telling your friends and neighbors. We had one of our biggest download days on Friday to Saturday, a 24-hour period. I think that may have been in part due to me being on Stacking Benjamins, but, you know,
that probably helps.
It was pretty good. I hope all of you are sticking around for what is to come, because I have to tell you, boy, do we have a topic for you today. Tom has been catching some grief from some listeners who are we're sitting in some cash. There are a few people in the world sitting in cash. That means you got money either in a mattress or in a checking account, or maybe one of those savings accounts that pays like 1/1000th of 1% a year.
Oh, you could be in Europe where you got to pay for them to hold it.
Yeah, I saw that.
How about that?
German banks are going,
a good one.
Hey, sorry, you want to put money in our bank?
Keep your money.
Pay us 0.5% a year.
What? Crazy.
I know.
No.
So what is this about? Why are people mad at you about you saying, what is it about cash that you say?
Well, cash is trash. By the way, it's like $18 trillion.
Is that all?
The number that's bandied about. It's a lot of money. You know, okay, anyway you put it. And for the one guy, he texted me and he said, I'm really sorry to criticize you. I feel kind of badly. I said, you know, my other profession, I'm very much used to people criticizing me. It's okay. It's good.
You mean your radio?
No, my referee career. I'll just show you the yellow.
Oh, the referee career. Forgot you had 3.
It stays bad.
I forgot you had 3. 4 if you throw television in there.
Exactly.
5 if you throw publishing in there.
Ouch. Cash.
6 if you throw in reprobate.
Let's not. That moves to number 1. Cash. All right. Here are my 3 reasons that you really shouldn't hold it. It's
all right.
Paying nothing. Okay, that's number 1. I'll give you some numbers.
Nothing.
Number 2. It shows you're very inefficient.
You are.
And number 3.
Wait, how am I inefficient? Okay, go ahead. All right, number 3.
Number 3. Mm-hmm. The reason you have cash is sometimes because you're inefficient, but most of the time when I talk to you, you tell me, well, I'm waiting for the stock market to go down, or I'm dollar cost averaging into the market because, you know, a big decline's coming. It has to come. It's coming.
So because it pays nothing, because you're inefficient, I'm not sure I get that one yet, or because you're emotional. I get that one. I get the emotional.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Right. Okay, so let's give you the numbers. 12 years since 2008, actually closer to 13 now. Cash has paid you, and this isn't my number, this is what the numbers show, about 0.5% per year. 0.5% per year. Remember, in that same time period, if you put it in bonds that never make money, I don't want to be in bonds, they've made about 4% a year. And stocks, since the debacle of 2008, they've made about 12% a year. So cash, bonds, stocks. Pretty easy decision there for me. Anyway.
But let me come back.
Yeah.
What if I'm just keeping some cash, for an emergency?
I am totally okay, and I think people should have cash for an emergency. As you know, sometimes we talk about using a bond fund, or maybe even a high yield savings account, because some of those are still paying a little bit more than just having it in your checking. I'm okay with that.
So you're okay
I'm
with
talking about the other people.
Cash is trash with an asterisk.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
That's fair.
Okay, good. I
So
want
it's
to clear
made
that up.
0.5% a year for the last 12 years. And by the way, inflation running about 3 times that, just so you know. All right? Okay. Number 2, inefficient. Here's how, when people tell me, I have $300,000 sitting in the bank, I feel great about it. My take is that's a little like at night, you got the heater all the way on in your house, but you got the windows open. You got all the lights on everywhere, but you're only in one room. Or for people, I still just can't believe this one from my daughter one time, that drove 12 miles to the store to pick up one item and come back. You're just inefficient. It doesn't make you a bad person. It just means you're not using your resources very well. That's my take.
All right. Makes you sound curmudgeonly, but go ahead.
Okay, that's number 2. Number
You are.
3.
You're like sounding like an old grandpa.
All right, well, that's what I am.
You using that room? Turn that light off.
Turn the light off when you leave the room.
There are kids sitting in darkness in Florida.
I'm probably, well, we prefer to say Houston, but that's another story.
Houston,
okay,
we have no lights.
Exactly. So, okay, number 3.
Yes.
This is the crux of the matter because,
we're getting to
yes,
the
you're right.
crux.
Having cash set aside for emergencies, having cash set aside because I'm buying a house, those kind of, yeah, that's okay. That's a fair asterisk. I get it. But here's the thing. A lot of you are holding cash because you don't trust stocks, right? Stock markets. You don't trust that the future, in the immediate future, is going to look like things go up. But let me give you a couple of numbers, okay? Day to day, if you watch the stock market every day, it's about 50% of the time it's up, 50% it's down. That's
Okay.
why you shouldn't watch it every day.
No, it will make
because
you
it'll
crazy.
eat you alive. Month to month, it's about 75% of the months that are up, 25% are down. Year to year, it's a similar number. It's about 3 years up, 1 year down. Okay, that's one number several numbers to keep track of. But here's another one. All right, and I already quizzed you on this. This is from J.P. Morgan. 2000 through 2019, 20 years of data.
That's a long
Had you
time.
missed the 20 best days, and we probably had one of them just this week, 20 best days of the stock market, you made nothing.
Wow.
Nothing.
How much?
In 10,
Just 20 days.
20
How
years.
much did I make if I was there the whole time?
If you put $100,000 in at 2000 and just let it ride, $432,000.
So I would have quadrupled my money in the market.
Yeah.
On the stock market, or I would have
Yep.
made nothing if I was
Yeah.
in the stock market for all of those days except for 20.
All of those days.
Basically,
So,
on
and
average,
by the way,
one
it gets
a year.
worse.
Yeah. Okay.
It gets worse. If you miss the 60 best days, which many of you do because I got to get out, I got to wait, you lost about 75% of your money.
Wow.
Yeah. It's these are J.P. Morgan's numbers. They're not my numbers. So
I didn't
don't
think
believe
you
in
made
market
them
timing.
up.
Oh, okay. Well, the way you said, wow, you're kind of looking
No,
like
it was just
crazy.
I didn't realize it was that big. The 75, that
dramatic.
loss is
And
huge.
It's huge. And so don't be a market timer. Don't tell me how cash is king. It is if you're going to buy a plane or something, sure. Or, okay, a house or a car. I get it. But it is not when it comes to your assets being properly allocated. That should be about you, not about all the rest of the stuff that's going on in the world.
All right, so cash is kind of trash with an asterisk. We're going to use that. Hey, our number, if you have questions for us, is 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. You can also leave messages on our website. Just go to talkingrealmoney.com, click the contact form and speak it or type it in. But for most, probably the easiest thing is just to call 24/7, 855-935-8255. And let's take a call.
Okay.
Let's go. Here we go.
Hi, I'm 79 years old, and I have my money invested through a Roth IRA, an IRA, and also a self-directed annuity. This is all through Fidelity, and the money is invested in the Fidelity Balanced Fund, which is 70% equities, most of them U.S., but there is some international, and then 30% bonds. And it has a 95% turnover rate. It has a very, very well-educated management team, and it averages around 10% a year over a 10-year period. Is this a wise investment for me to be in? I also have in the annuity, the self-directed annuity, it's in the VIP Fidelity Balanced Fund. I'm feeling pretty secure with all this, but I was just wondering what you thought. I listened to your program. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for the call. We appreciate that. The Fidelity Balanced Fund, actively managed, that, as you alluded to, you said it's got a very a great management team.
High turnover.
And that is actually relatively high turnover. And here's what's interesting. Just comparing this fund with our good friend, the Vanguard Balanced Index Fund. First, we start with the fees. The Fidelity Balance charges 0.52% per year, 0.5% a year. The Vanguard Balanced Index charges 0.07. 0.07.
Wow. So you're getting it cheaper.
You're getting it a lot cheaper. The excuse me. The Fidelity Balance does do pretty darn well. It has returned.
Has done pretty darn well.
Yeah, exactly. It has done pretty darn well. However, their 15-year average annual return, and the longer the return, we think the better the data is. The 15-year average annual return for Fidelity Balanced is 8.5% per year. The 15-year average annual return for the Vanguard Balanced Index is 8.12. So they're right close. They're very, very close. And the difference is, one, you got that turnover, which is going to cause you to pay more in taxes. And the other thing with Vanguard is that you have got a bigger portfolio. You have a much bigger portfolio with the Vanguard Balanced Index. You have 3,400 stocks, 11,000 bonds. And by the way, the allocation for fixed from U.S. equity to fixed income is 60-40. So
yeah, he said 70-30. I was surprised.
Yeah, so that is a more aggressive approach.
Yeah. It is a more aggressive approach.
And in Fidelity Balanced, the portfolio only has in it, let me just get the latest number here.
I'm betting it's like 800 stocks.
363 and 800 bonds.
Wow. Yeah, only 800 bonds. So greater diversification, lower cost. And is the Fidelity Balanced, is it truly 70-30?
I'm double checking.
I mean, because that would be surprising.
69.
Yeah, okay, so it is.
Yeah, it's 70-30.
Yeah, so that's you know what? Again,
it's apple. It's a little apple orangish.
Yeah.
It's like apple pears.
So the question at hand would be, when the next 2008 comes along, what sort of bruising you can expect in a portfolio that's 70%, mostly U.S., no doubt, mostly large U.S. companies, which, by the way, the reason the 10-year has done well is because those type of companies have done very, very well until about 6 months ago when small has come back. If I was waking up tomorrow, here's the way I look at this. If I woke up tomorrow and said, I got to buy a balanced fund, would I buy the Vanguard fund or would I buy the Fidelity fund? I'd buy the Vanguard fund.
Oh, absolutely.
For all the reasons we just mentioned.
Without hesitation, I would buy it. As a matter of fact, what I would probably do, because I want international in my portfolio, is I would build my very own 60-40 with Fidelity, for example. Just get 3 funds. Get the Fidelity U.S. index, the total market index, the international index, and the total bond index. Those things are dirt cheap. And you will have a better diversified portfolio with those at a substantially lower cost, and you stay with Fidelity. And if you want those 3 funds, the exact funds, go to talkingrealmoney.com and scroll down to the 3 funds from 3 families story, and you'll get all the ticker symbols there. And to me, that's the easiest thing to do. But I wanted to make the straight comparison with the Vanguard Balanced Index.
Excellent question. And again, the other thing that I think you should consider at 79 is taking the risk quiz to make sure that you're okay having 70% of your money in stocks, 30% in bonds, assuming that the next downturn is coming at some point. We don't know when, but it's coming at some point.
And we really don't believe in active management. And there's so much literature to support our belief. It's not that we just believe it from our gut. We believe it based on multiple studies.
And beyond that, here's I find it fascinating. Remember what he said. Hey, it's had a great 10-year track record. And he equated that with great management. Mm-hmm. I'm going to equate it with the fact that it owned the right type of stocks. Large U.S. firms, I'll bet it's tech-heavy to some extent. All the things that have done well in the past. Mm-hmm. And over the long haul, you want to own more than that, way more than 300 stocks.
And I can personally attest to the trap that you and many others fall into, because I fell in the same trap in the 90s. I bought that really brilliant managers were making great bets on technology stocks when in fact they were just lucky and they rode up technology like the folks at Janus and others. So it's not just you. Everybody falls into this trap because we want to believe that there is brilliance out there. And if we can only tap into that brilliance, we're going to make more than everybody else. When the odds are against you, and your odds are better if you just play the low fee game.
Wide diversification, balance between U.S. and international, right amount of risk tolerance, and low cost. Couldn't agree more.
Once again, if you want to ask us a question, go to talkingrealmoney.com, click on the contact form, or call your question into 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. And if, by the way, if you have one of these issues, I was just going through the paperwork on the table. My wife is a hodgepodger when it comes to investing because she used to be a stockbroker. So she's got funds and American funds, and she's got, just stuff, a hodgepodge. And I'm looking through all these statements going, I wish I could get her to clean it up, but you don't listen to your spouse.
You're going to do so much, and that's going to be that.
Yeah.
So leave it.
But if you've got one of these hodgepodge portfolios and you're thinking, I really need to straighten this out, but we can't go through your whole portfolio on a podcast or radio show, let our advisors help you. They will do it for free, up to an hour, give or take. No obligation at all. And best part, you're not going to get a sales pitch. We don't believe in that. Just go to vestory.com, vestory.com. Hit the 800 or hit the button or call the 800 number 855-935-TALK. Just contact us or set up an appointment and we will help you, we promise, and you don't have to fear it. Thanks for being a part of the podcast. Please tell your friends, your neighbors, your enemies. Tell Tom. And
somebody that cares.
Call somebody who cares. And also review it on Apple Podcasts. Thanks for being there. Take care. That's Tom. I'm Don. Talking Real Money.
Talking Real Money. We hope you realize that the information provided on Talking Real Money is for educational and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. Providing personalized financial planning or investing advice takes time, so please consult with a really good fee-only fiduciary investment, tax, or legal advisor. We know a good one. Investing must always involve risk. In other words, you can and probably will lose money at times. Also, as much as you want it, no one can accurately, consistently predict the future. So past performance doesn't tell you a darn thing about what the future will bring. Unlike many other programs that say something similar, Talking Real Money is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Vestory, a fee-only registered investment advisor. Thanks for listening, and please visit talkingrealmoney.com for more information and disclosures. That's a wrap.